future Broncos. On behalf of Project Caminos, welcome back to another episode of Broncos Scoop. My name is Deicy Lemus. I'm a fourth-year architecture major here at Cal Poly Pomona and also a student assistant at Project Caminos. Thank you so much for joining us for this new episode of Season 3. On today's episode, I will be giving you the scoop on what it's like to be a student in the College of Agriculture at Cal Poly Pomona. In this episode, we will be talking to two guests who are both in the same college, but they're from different majors. So we will be talking about nutrition, dietetics, and plant science. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast again. Can you please introduce yourself and your role at Cal Poly Pomona?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Holly Diaz. I'm a nutrition and dietetics major here at my College of Ag. I am involved in many things. I just got officially told that I'm the Ag Council president for the next year. So I'm really excited about that, to take on that role and to revive Ag Council for my college.
Hello, everyone. This is Hugo Moctezuma. I'm a plant science major with a pest and disease management minor here at Cal Poly Pomona. I'm a fourth year and ready to graduate.
Yeah. So plant science is a major within the College of Agriculture. Can you share with our listeners a little bit about the college and specifically what the major focuses on?
Yes, so we have the College of Agriculture, which is divided into like animal science, people who like animals and would like to pursue a career in being veterinarians. We also have the ag science career, and then my department, which is the plant science. So mainly my department is everything in general related to plants. So the whole plant growth from seed all the way to harvest. So removing the weeds, fertilizing, and as well as irrigating. So the complete process of getting fruits, vegetables, and flowers.
Nutrition dietetics is a major within the College of Agriculture. Can you share with our listeners a little bit about the college and specifically what the major focuses on?
Yeah, so the major really focuses on how to become a registered dietitian. That's more of a more qualified nutritionist that knows the practice and like how to make sure their clients are able to lose weight, or if the client has any questions for the dietitian. We're more qualified than a typical nutritionist because anyone can call themselves a nutritionist. So we officially have that title being registered. So I also want to talk about the college too. It's really comfy. And I feel as though once like you're in the College of Ag, there's a good comfort and support. Like you'll most likely end up meeting like some faculty members, not even in nutrition. It could be like from animal science or I'm trying to think what else, but you can meet other faculty members within the college. It's such a tight-knit college that I love how I'm able to meet the dean of the college, or it could be someone from a different department as well. So I think it's a good tight-knit college that we can all meet each other. And if we ever need assistance with somebody or someone, I can always get a hold of somebody, or they can get a hold of me. So I really love how it's a small college, but in the long run, it's a good thing that we're small, that we know each other, reach out to other departments. That's also cool too.
So when did you know what career or major you wanted for yourself?
Well, that came back when I was a little kid, because I came from Colima, Mexico, and out there's a lot of agriculture. All my family is being involved with agriculture, doing bananas, papayas, and limes. So I've been just around plants all my life and decided that I wanted to do it in science. I wanted to know all the science behind it rather than just knowing the practical way. So decided to come and do plant science here at Cal Poly Pomona, and it has been one of the best experiences so far.
So why did you pick Cal Poly specifically? Did you know anything about their plant science? Was it because they're kind of like known as an agriculture school?
Yeah, one of the reasons that I decided to was because back in Mexico, I remember one of my uncles, it is a plant science as well. He mentioned me about the University of Pomona. Back then he did a connection with them, and I was like, yeah, of course I would like to look into it. And then saw that they had the farm next to it, next to the campus, which is, I thought it was really cool. That way we could get some hands-on experience. And yeah, that's why I decided to go with Broncos, and here we are.
So actually, I've been in school for almost 10 years now. A lot of life happened. So when I first started college, it was mainly due to a family health condition. Well, not my condition, but someone in my family wasn't feeling well, and I really didn't understand what was happening. So they were admitted to the hospital, and a lot of health issues were at a rise. So I was a bit concerned, like, what's happening? I'm not truly understanding, and I didn't want to see that person in pain or have someone go through that. So I really wanted to advocate and learn more about nutrition, how more people can eat healthier and know, and just like know more about nutrition education. Because I feel as though they know about it. I think it's just like the more reinforcement of like, here's what to eat versus not what not to eat. Like, I'm not the food police in any way, because I definitely know I try to eat healthy. So I think it's also a good balance too of like, you can't always be like the health nut, but you can always have a cheat day. Because I know a lot of people don't like cheat days, but I think for me, it's always everything in moderation. It works for me, but I know it's not doable for a lot of people. But I think it's just once you find that rhythm of what works for you, that's best for you, and not rely on society of like, oh, you need to look this way or like look that way. I think it's just mainly what you and how you feel about yourself and your body too.
Yeah. So how did you decide that Cal Poly Pomona was where you wanted to study nutrition dietetics?
Yeah, so it was a few years ago when I was still at Mount Sac and I transferred over to Cal Poly. I did some research because my mom said you need to do some research about Cal Poly, and because at the time we knew they had my major, and she said that I need to graduate as soon as possible. I've been in school for almost 10 years now, so she really wanted me to ramp it up, like just graduate and get my degree. But I really looked into it, and I went to an open house before pandemic. Luckily, it made the cutoff before we went on Zoom and everything, and I just felt Cal Poly just has that sense of community and comfort, and that's what I look for in a university. Of like, are they gonna, what resources do they have for me, and how can I be successful in order for me to get my degree? So that's what I look for in Cal Poly. And I knew just when I interacted with some of the faculty or just some of the current students before I was even admitted, I just knew this was a place for me. There's so many resources here that I've already taken advantage of, and that's what they're here for. So I just thought it's a great program. The nutrition department's been really helpful too. Like, if I need anything, I always reach out to my advisor. Shout out to Dr. Edens, I love you. So yeah, it's been really great. I love my department. The college has been really awesome to me too. So I love this university.
Yeah. What does a week look like for you in the College of Agriculture this semester?
Yeah, so this semester, I'd say it's probably my busiest semester. I'm enrolled in 5 classes. One of them is online, but the other 4, they're great. It's just one class I say it's a challenge, but I still enjoy it, but it is a bit tougher because it's an upper division class. But I would say I'm still trying my best in that class. Other than that, for my classes, I am active in, as already mentioned, Ag Council, Huntley Peer Advisors. I'm the secretary there. So it's a lot of me going to classes back and forth, because student first and extracurriculars for me. So I think it's just really a lot on my plate of like, I had to really just figure out how can I balance all this, but still go to classes. So I'm not dropping the ball on one thing or like dropping the ball on both things. So I think it's just a matter of fact, I found my rhythm, and I'm still going to try to get used to it. Like next semester, it's always a different pattern every semester, because you always have to figure out your rhythm of like what works, what doesn't work. Do I need to drop a class? Do I need to seek out more help for this class? And which I've actually had to reevaluate what I want to do next semester, and especially this semester too. I was like, can I do all this? How do I feel? But I would say it's been my busiest semester, but overall it's been a great learning one.
Such a busy week since I'm right here taking 18 units now to graduate soon. And since I work and live the Spudger farm, it takes me a lot of time I wake up basically like at 5 a.m. I go to work from 6 to 11, get out of work and then get ready for class because I got class at 1, don't finish until like 5, 6, depending if I have class and lecture, lab and lecture. And the cool thing about being under the plant science department is that a lot of our labs are not in an actual room, it's like more being outdoors. So it's such a great experience to be walking around all campus because there's so many trees and plants and weeds and fruits and vegetables that we are able to learn every single day. So it's an amazing experience to be out there every single day.
So what kind of classes do you take like in the plant? Like what kind of labs do you guys kind of take?
There's a lot of labs that I'm taking right now. For example, I'm taking 3. So I have sustainable agriculture and the lab. I'm also taking plant science 2 with the lab, as well as plant pathology with the lab. And there's a lot of courses that help you understand the whole plant growth. We have orientation to plant science. We have plant physiology. We have farm and functioning plants. We have irrigation systems. We have fertilizers class, weed science. We have bee science because of course we have to take care of bees. That's our main focus in agriculture since we have to take care of main pollinators.
Do you have a favorite class this semester and why does it stand out from other courses?
Yeah, I've actually thought about that one. I'm trying to think. Well, actually, I would say that would be nutrition 3930. Another shout out to Dr. Elam. I would say it's an interesting class. It's just really in depth of what we're learning because it's advanced nutrient metabolism. So it's really a lot of science and nutrition mixed together. And that's my most challenging class. But at the same time, I do like how he's pushing me to better understand the material. I know now that that's the reason why he's probably that way is because life is not always going to be easygoing. There's always going to be challenges. So I think by him challenging me to be a better student and how to keep fighting for my grade, I think that's also maybe why he might be that way of like, there's always going to be challenges. And I think that's why he's challenging me for me to fight for that grade for just to pass this class. So I think that's been my favorite class so far, but we'll see about next semester. I'll be in medical nutrition therapy. So it might change to that might be my new favorite. So
is there anything that has shaped your time as a student at Cal Poly Pomona?
Yes, definitely. One of the first ones, I will say that it is joining Sigma Delta Alpha. This is an multicultural organization that I joined in my sophomore year, and it helped me to create a lot of network and meet a lot of friends and meet some other friends that were in this position on the plant science department and got to get me connected with the plant science farm. And then the second biggest thing that shaped me here at Cal Poly Pomona was acquiring the position of working and living at Spudger farm. So the plant science department has 130 acres on an off-campus farm, which is located on Pomona Boulevard. It's a mile away from campus. And there's 130 acres where we have a lot of fruits and vegetables. And thank God I got the position to work and teach other students the whole process from seeds to harvest. I've been working and living here for 3 years. And it's amazing to have all the experience driving the tractors and of course teaching and helping other students with their classes and labs.
So what are your duties as the assistant farm manager of Spudger?
So every single morning I have to report to the supervisor. I talk to my supervisor and then he gives me the things that we have to finish throughout the day. In case we have to do some transplants, then I'll go ahead and grab the tractor, the students, as well as the plants. And I conduct the whole transplanting process. depending if we have to do some weeding in any area of the farm, then I just get the tools and the people, and then I go ahead and tell the students what to do. We also do big orders for farmers market. We work with Irvine and also providing all the fresh products to the farm store. So I'm in charge of the harvest crew, and I'm a leader for all the students and teaching them how to harvest all of our fresh grown products from Cal Poly Pomona.
Yeah. And then you also get to live at Spudger, right?
Yes, I live here in Spudger Farm. I've been living here for 2 years, and it's one of the best experiences because once again, I've been living around plants all my life, and now being the one in 130 acres is such a great experience, and I never stop learning. There's always different factors that I wake up and the climate like makes the plant grow different. So I'm always learning. It's just such an amazing experience.
Yeah, I would say poly transfer has really transformed me because at the time when I transferred over from Mount Sac to Cal Poly Pomona, I got into the summer program where I had a mentor looking over me of like, are you doing okay in your classes? Or if I needed to talk to her about anything, she was there for me. And when she left last year and I got offered this position this semester, spring 2022, being a poly transfer peer mentor, I kind of wanted to carry the torch of her passing it on to me and like keeping her legacy alive per se. So I definitely wanted to also help out other students because I knew what it felt like to transfer over from, like, say if it was a community college or just fresh out of high school. I just knew how they all felt. So it's not, I knew just they might be feeling scared or nervous because I felt that way too, of like, I'm here to help you in any way I can. Even my current mentees right now, I don't want to put anyone on the spot, but I had one of them the other day saying, hey, can we talk? And I asked, like, are you doing okay? He said, I'm fine. It's just, I needed to talk and you're reliable and I could trust you. I'm like, yeah, anytime anyone wants to talk with me, it's totally okay. Cause I can totally relate to anybody. I might not know like the specific feeling, but like I can probably relate to it in some way, like, oh, I'm feeling sad or like I'm having a hard time in class. I can totally relate back to that too.
Yeah. And if you want to listen to us talk about poly transfer, Holly was on the podcast in one of the recent episodes. And in that episode, we just talked everything about her experience as a transfer student.
Tutoring center has helped me out a lot. That's how I got through organic chemistry last semester. And actually met one of my friends there. She actually tutored me for organic chemistry, and I told her like, I'm just going to need all your help that you can offer me. And I just told her be patient with me. It took me a while, but I'm fortunate enough that with all of her help that she got me able to pass. So I wasn't like, I can't do this anymore because I know the struggle of that class, organic chemistry. It's a lot of people struggle. So she helped me out a lot with tutoring.
Yeah. And the College of Ag, I think one thing that I've learned just from hearing is that you guys do a lot of science, like classes that you need, just like general biology, chemistry, and things like that relate. So how do you feel that the major has prepared you for your career goals?
Has prepared me a lot, and the fact that there has been so many labs and lectures that we have taken, from intro to plant science all the way to fertilizers, from irrigation. We also cover a lot of courses that help us with pest and disease management, with weed management, also with sustainable agriculture, of course, to be more sustainable and don't waste our resources. For example, one of the main ones is water that we suffer here in California. And of course, one of the basic examples I could give in how Cal Poly Pomona helps the students is that it's all about learn by doing. So one of the biggest things from Cal Poly, we have 130 acres to practice every single day. We have tractors, we have irrigation, we have a lot of students every single day running and the systems and planting, seeding, weeding, harvesting, fertilizing. So it's just such an amazing experience that helps you out once you graduate, because first we need some experience, some hands-on experience in order to get the job that we're looking for. So Cal Poly and the farm really prepares you for that future job.
So at Cal Poly Pomona, they emphasize the kind of like learn by doing approach. Do you have a class that you've taken as a plant science major that stands out where you saw that kind of learn by doing? I asked this question to the mechanical engineering students, and she was like, every single class that we take is like a learn by doing, and architecture is like that too. All of our studios are very like hands-on. Is plant science like that as well?
Yeah, definitely. Every single time that we talk about a plan is not about watching something on the book or
Mm.
I mean, yeah, we understand the science behind it, but like we have to understand how things react to it. For example, like it could be one day that is too sunny, the next day it could be too cold. So there's things that you won't be able to learn unless you're actually seeing it. So there's a lot of different factors that like humidity, there's like water factors that abiotic and biotic factors that are affecting the plant growth. And of course, doing it every single day is what gets you to the best experience and have more knowledge for our future jobs.
Yeah, I was with or Franco was here from Brandon Franco from your frat. Um, he was here and I have a plant and I was like, "Do you think I'm overwatering it?" And he gave me a whole analysis. He's also plant science major. He gave me a whole analysis on how to like make sure, like he was like, put your finger in there, and then he was like explaining how the moisture works, and he was like, yeah, if it gets too much water, it's gonna die because it's a succulent. And he was explaining that in the rainforest, the way they water it is like a bunch of water at once, and that's how I should water it. And I was like, okay. So I thought it was funny. I was like, wow, this is so much good info on plants.
A lot of people likes plants, but there's a lot of science behind it. It's just not
Yeah,
soil and water,
yeah.
but there's a lot of factors that affect the growth.
I would probably say that's because of like all the hard classes we have to take, like from organic chemistry to biochem. A lot of people don't know like why we have to take those classes. They just assume like, oh, your nutrition, you just take like food classes, when really it's like, no, it's you have to learn like what's going on in the body or like what's actually happening. So when we are with a patient, we know like, oh, Deborah has ketoacidosis, and like they don't really know that. They just assume like, oh, like you just have easy classes, where it's like, no, we don't have easy classes. It is a science. It's not just an opinion, nutrition. So I think it's all the hard classes are meant to challenge us in a way that like when we might get our job, it might not be specifically nutrition, but they might ask us like, hey, could you do like some chemistry for us or something? Or I've even been told like in a GE class where it's like, oh, I took accounting, but she even said like, you might, I don't know, they might ask you to do some like accounting material or something. So I think it's definitely, the classes are challenging, but I think it's like once you're committed and you're willing to do all the work, it's going to pay off for your potential career you want to go into.
Yeah. So do you have any classes at Cal Poly Pomona that emphasize the learn by doing approach?
Yeah, I actually have a few. I would say the one I just mentioned about NTR 3930, and I would also say nutrition education, because it's really fun, that class. We get to role play sometimes of being like, I'll be the registered dietitian and you would be the patient. So we would just like practice in class of like, hey, we have this, like, we basically had to like just go with it of like, okay, we're gonna just say you have a condition of like diabetes, and you have to ask me like, what do I do to not be diabetic anymore? So I think it's just really, I love seeing the students in that class being engageful, because I think it was when we were still on Zoom, I think it was all a bummer for us of like, we can't be in person. We couldn't really have that feeling of, oh, this is so cool, like learn by doing in person. But I think now we're back in person. I get to see that represented by the students, like, this is so cool to learn it in class. And in even outside of class, I see other students, or we'll talk with a friend like, hey, you want to practice about like being like in an appointment with a registered dietitian. So I think it's really cool to see that come to life too. And also when the instructor is really passionate about making sure we role play in class, and if she wants to role play with us, it's really cool too that she's engageful and and because we'll have to do that in our future profession, is like when we have a client, we'll have to know how to approach them, how to just mainly talk to them without sounding like we don't know what we're saying. So I think it's really cool that we get that aspect too of learn by doing motto by doing those in-class activities.
What type of general education or what we call GE classes outside of your major have you taken? And do you have any that you recommend to students?
One of the GE courses, well, me as a plant science that I decided to take was if newer people are coming to Cal Poly Pomona, of course, there's a lot of classes as GEs that people takes just because they want to, they just want to fulfill the requirement. But if we're actually looking forward for those good GEs that will help you in the future for your career. For me, for example, I'm taking technology innovations right now. And it's such an amazing class that gives you all the perspectives of technology and the fact that like every single newer irrigation system that are coming out to save water, or any newer machines to fertilize, any newer machines to be more efficient in spraying. So it's such a cool class where it teaches us up-to-date technology in farming, which is amazing. And I'm able to take some knowledge for my future farming experiences.
So what do you see yourself doing after you graduate from Cal Poly Pomona? You're actually graduating in like a month, right?
Yes, in a month, finally about to
Yeah.
graduate.
Yeah. So what is I know your plan, but will you share with us what your plan after you graduated?
Yes, I'm so happy to announce that I'll be working for Southland Farms. I'll be in charge of sod, blackberries, and strawberries. This is a company located in Oxnard, and I'll be an agronomist starting June 1st, which is a week after graduation. And I'm so excited and ready, and of course, really happy that these 2 years of working and living at the farm as an assistant farm manager got me the experience to jump to a position like this, and we're ready to work.
So how many acres are you taking care of for this farm?
Oh, this farm is a way bigger farm, so I will be covering 1,400 acres along with the other growers. But yeah, we'll be taking care of a huge sod company as well as blackberries and strawberries.
Yeah, so I've actually had a talk with a professor yesterday, and at the time, and I wasn't really sure. And I think we all have that feeling of we don't know, but I think just for a rough idea, it's because first off, I just want my diploma saying I graduated. So I think that's a first, but I would probably say I want to be a dietetic technician where it's I would be working with the dietitian just alongside them of like if they need anything, or because I know I have to take a registered exam for that too. So I know I have to study a lot like after I get my diploma that I take that exam and hopefully I'll pass it. And that's where I'm thinking for now, but later on down the road, I'm hoping for something better, but we'll see what happens because there's so many outlets with nutrition I can go into, and I'm still learning about too that my advisor said like, hey, you could go this route or that route. So I think it's mainly in my part, I have to figure it out for myself, like what sparks my interest, which is probably implementing like more nutrition education towards like say elementary schools, because maybe the kids aren't aware of my plate or just what's a vegetable or something, because maybe they're still learning because they're younger. So like maybe they're still learning like, oh, like broccoli is a vegetable or like that's a fruit. So like maybe implementing a nutrition education is a step for me.
Yeah, that's good. And when are you graduating? Do you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I haven't really said a lot about that, and I don't want to jinx it, but it'll be spring 23.
Oh, me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yay.
What opportunities have you taken advantage of in your college or major?
Yeah, so I've taken up a lot of opportunities, such as like Huntley peer advisors, because currently I'm the secretary. So currently with them, because total like for this semester, I think there's like 9 of us. So we really engage with the students. Like we have a little kiosk in building too. So if they ever have any questions for us, they can like approach us, or if we don't know something, we can always refer them down to one of the faculty members in another room, but we're there to like always help out, like if they need assistance, or even if I'm unclear about something, I always ask the other peer advisors, like, what could I do? Or like, I have this issue, what's going on? So I think I've taken up that resource of helping out others, and also I can get help from them and also faculty members too. If I'm in a tough situation, I can always rely on them.
I guess one of the opportunities starting as my first year in Cal Poly Pomona was joining EOP. EOP is an educational opportunity program. It was such an amazing experience that I came to Cal Poly for 2 weeks before we started actual classes. The reason I say is because I met a lot of people, and a lot of people in the department that has helped me and shaped me throughout this whole 4 years. And they've been so supportive. And besides earning my position here for Cal Poly as a student living in Spudger Farm, definitely joining EOP was one of the best things that happened to me here as well in Cal Poly.
Yeah, we both we're both proud EOPers, but we also did summer bridge together.
Summer bridge, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
One of the best experiences to start college.
Yeah, it was. So do you have any tips for prospective students that are like new Broncos to the school, or any tips for their parents that are supporting their students in this journey?
I will say that for all those upcoming students, just to work really hard, because time flies, and you will close your eyes and it will be 4 years. So if you're not up to with your classes, you're gonna end up staying a little bit more. So the goal should be to try to stay for 4 years, and working hard is one of the best ways to as well as managing your time in order to be more successful. But I think that the best tip I could give is to get an internship, because the main goal is to get a job. Of course, we want to get good grades, but the internship is what's gonna get a job. Because unfortunately, when we graduate, it's not about what was our GPA. It's all about what have you done. So a lot of people get confused with that when they're about to graduate and they're trying to apply to jobs when they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like I don't have experience. I don't have a resume." So definitely working on your resume as well as your classes. And you're a Cal Poly Pomona, so it's a hands-on experience and learn by doing. So definitely there's a lot of opportunities and internship for everyone. So that's the best tip I could give to the upcoming students of Cal Poly Pomona.
I would definitely say for incoming students and the parents, I would say for you to take a tour of Cal Poly, ask questions while you're here. You could definitely take a tour, but definitely ask questions like at the student services building. That's a spaceship building if you guys don't know, but ask some questions. I know they have an email, you can email questions too, because I believe I did that too. I had a few questions like what do I do, or like how can I transfer over? So I think it's just mainly asking a lot of questions like there, or if you have or like in my case, I have like some anxiety issues. If you want to go to the DRC or something and get equipped there to be a better student, like not have that test anxiety circling you, I would highly suggest going there too. Like, hey, like how could I get involved with the DRC and how could they better me?
What is your favorite spot on campus to hang out at?
Oh gosh, I'd probably say I'm in building 2 a lot. If you guys ever see me, go ahead and you can approach me, but I'm not mad. It's probably I'm just like studying really hardcore for an exam, or I know my finals are coming up, so I'm not mad at you. It's probably I'm just really studying a lot in building 2. I'm usually at the little kiosk in building 2, or right now I'm at Cowboy Corner. It's just outside of building 2. A lot of people get confused like where that is. So it's either Cowboy Corner or building 2. Then also know I might be in the library a lot for studying for finals. My friend already asked if we want to study together, and I already said, oh, I'm going to be like talking things out. I'm not going crazy, but that's how I'm going to try new like study habit, like maybe talking things out to get it more in my brain.
I would say that I would like to mention probably the community garden, the Japanese garden,
Mhm.
because first of all, I like fishes a lot. So it's just really relaxing that after you're having a stressful day, you're taking a midterm or final, and then you pass by, see some fishes, and I'm a plant boy, so I really enjoy looking at the plants around there. There's aquatic plants, there's big trees, there's all these other different types of insects as well.
Yeah.
We have the whole environmental system, I guess, within an area, which is insects, plants, water, and the whole cycle of life.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I like to go to the Japanese garden. And of course, to watch the beautiful CLA building that we have, but sadly, they're about to bring it down.
The one they're demolishing.
Now it's being demolished, but
Yeah.
such a good view right there.
I'm worried I'm sure they have a plan, but I'm worried they're gonna like damage the Japanese garden because the building is so close to it. Like
Yeah, that was one of the biggest concerns about people, that they were gonna damage the plant and the whole environment, the fishes, but they mentioned that they're gonna try their best to not touch Japanese garden. So
Yeah.
we're gonna stay with our Japanese garden.
Yeah. Maybe they'll make a bigger garden because they can't really put a building there.
True. They're probably
Sure.
working on a bigger one.
Yeah, that's what I would put there.
That would be cute for
Yeah.
the graduation pictures.
Yeah. Did you take graduation photos in front of the CLA before they started demolishing it?
No, I didn't. I was about to, and it took me too long. It's already kind of like 1/4 down, no?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they have a bunch of holes on one side already. You can only take photos on the other end.
And the way.
Yeah.
Then I should go soon then.
Yeah. Wait, can I ask, because you're so close to graduating, can I ask you one more question?
Yes.
Do you know how you're gonna graduate, how you're gonna decorate your graduation cap? Do you have anything?
No. Yeah, I haven't looked at it, but I was probably just thinking into a tractor. I love tractors, so probably just thinking in decorating some plants and tractors in there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like if I'm an actual farmer.
Join us every week for a new episode of Bronco Scoop. Subscribe to our channel, CPP Access and Transition, or follow us on Spotify, Bronco Scoop, to never miss a scoop. Make sure to check out our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at CPP Caminos to keep yourself updated. If you have any questions or want to talk about anything Cal Poly Pomona related, email us at caminos@cpp.edu. Project Caminos Bronco Scoop is supported with funding from the Department of Education, Hispanic Serving Institute grant, and Cal Poly Pomona's Office of Student Success, Equity, and Innovation. Tune in for more.